Hi everyone, it's Diane with Batik, and today is Fabric Friday, and we are back talking about our 115-inch wide Batik Cotton. I really love this collection of 115-inch wide, let me call it quilt backings, because it's bold, it's summer, it's bright, it's happy, and I don't know why I relate happy to summer colors, but anyway, they are happy, and they're the reds, the yellows, the blues, the purples, the pinks, the oranges. What else is over there? The multicolor fabrics, multicolor shades, I should say. And so it's really going to be fun to take you through each one of those shades. So keep in mind, there might be one of those in there that's perfect for the backing of one of the quilts you're working on, or something that you're planning as well. And think about all your block of the months and different projects that you may need that special quilt backing for. So a little bit about our fabric before I jump into the various fabrics that are in this Brights collection. Our backing is 115 inches wide. And we love the fact that it's just a little bit extra width. It's not 108. Most of the fabrics out there that are extra wide are either 104 or 108 inches wide. And so the 115 really allows you to be able to put a 115-inch wide square on the back of, say, a 108-inch wide finished quilt back. It just really gives that little extra boost, which is perfect. But, you know, like I always say, the extra wide cotton is not only for quilt backings. It's just how everybody, I should say most everybody, relates. That wide width of fabric is, well, what else would I use it for besides the backing of a quilt? Well, there are so many other things. I think if you just think about, the way I think about it is, it can be garment fabric, it can be home decorating fabric, it can be quilt top fabric, it can be anything. It just depends on what you're looking for, the colors that you're looking for, and the projects that you have that you're working on. For example, in our house, in our guest room, and I think a lot of you have heard this from me, the entire bed set is from our collection of 45 and 115-inch wide fabric. That includes the drapes, the pillow shams, the bed skirt, the quilt, the duvet cover. Everything is from that collection, which is so wonderful to be able to not have to piece things like a curtain or drape or shower curtain or duvet cover. It's really a wonderful way to use the 115-inch wide fabric. So before we get into anything else, I'd love to share with you what we classify as our Brights and Bolds collection of 115-inch wide Batik Cotton. Here is a quick introduction of the fabrics that we classify as bright and bold. Okay, now I'm going to stop moving this camera around. Hopefully I'm not making you too dizzy, and we're going to go through each one. We're going to start out in our yellow family, and this is the Violetta motif in the color of basically yellow. We didn't come up with some clever name for this particular color. So this is Violetta in yellow, and next to it is Medora Flora in the color of cantaloupe. And cantaloupe has miscellaneous and mixed colors within the motif itself. So we have some turquoise and we have some pinks and a little bit of green in here. So it's a multicolor fabric that goes with a lot of our other Medora Flora fabrics. The next one is Violetta in the color of peach. No, coral peach. Oh my goodness, I have to get my names right here. So this is just a very, very light shade. And if you take a look at it next to our Medora Flora Green Flash, you can see the shades of peach inside this motif. And again, this has the combinations of yellow and pink, and a little bit of turquoise throughout this one as well. And so this is Green Flash. The next green that we have is Violetta in Budding Green, and that's a bold, strong green. I hesitated at first to put it in here, but it is so vibrant that I can't help but put it in the bold category. The next three fabrics are nautical. Nope, they're not. This is, I think of them as nautical blue. It's really terrible of me, but this is a Violetta Perry Rose, and it has shades of, it's that really beautiful blue background with soft rose inside the motif and a little bit of, you can see a little bit of greens, kind of a light minty green in there. And there's a hand-dyed nautical blue, which coordinates very nicely, as well as the Medora Flora nautical blue, which has the shades of yellow, green, mint, and rosy pinks that run throughout the motif. The next color grouping is Blue Atoll. Both of these are Blue Atoll, and this is the Medora Flora, really just a delicate kind of a baby bluish color. And it's hand-dyed coordinate. They read a little bit different simply because there's no other color in the hand-dyed version of this. There's no other shades that are touching that blue fabric, so that's why this is kind of a lighter, brighter, whiter Blue Atoll. The next shade, which you can see kind of a shade difference here, this is Violetta Soft Mint. So it kind of goes towards a green. Can you see the difference in these? It has more of that minty green look to it. And next is, we're going to get into some of our purples. The next one here is Phoenix Violet Bouquet, which is also a very light shade, and it has lilac-y shades behind it with yellows and soft, I would call them turquoise, inside the motif itself. Very, very light. I really, really love this one. The Violetta in Lilac has rosy colors and goes into kind of a brownish green shade within that motif. And next is, again, a Medora Flora motif, and this is Grape. It's one of the multicolored fabrics, which has yellows and greens and pinks, and I call it strawberry, but strawberry in here. And just a wonderful all-over cotton that can be used with so many different fabric shades. If you want to bring out a pink, you can. If you want to bring out a yellow, you can. It's really a great mixer. The next shade is Violetta in Malbec, and this is one of our most recent fabrics. And it has the background of eggplant with pinks and roses going throughout the motif, as well as turquoises. And the next one is a hand-dyed, this is called hand-dyed bright purple. There's really not much to say about that. It's just a really nice eggplanty shade. And then we have Violetta in the shade of Purple Passion. And this actually is more of a blue purple. And just really, it's a tone on tone. And I just think it's just a gorgeous deep purple. We have this in rayon as well, and it's just such a rich colorway. I've made a rayon summer top out of it with a cowl neck in it, and it's just gorgeous. The rayon version anyway. Okay, the next grouping we're getting to here are the pinks and reds. The first really delicate shade is our Sachet Pink in the motif of Violetta. This goes so beautifully with, I mean, you could, if I put this over here with the Malbec, the pinks really are beautiful together. Next is the Violetta. Now here I've like crumpled everything up here. Violetta in the shade of Strawberry. And the reason we call this one Strawberry is that it has a lot of yellow going through the motif, as well as light shades of, you could wear this with a white if you were putting it into a garment, and you could put it against our gossamer blue or glacier cotton batik as a background for any kind of design. Be beautiful with this. The next is one that we've had for a little while now, actually. It's very popular. Both of these two here are the Valentine Pink shade, and this is Violetta, and this is Medora Flora. So you'll see that in the fabric itself, there is this pink overall with lilac throughout, and then the motif is more of an off-whitey, kind of a white shade to it. It's really the lightest shade of pink you could possibly have. And the difference here is just the motif makes it look different. There's more white that seems to show up with the Medora Flora. At least that's how I look at that. So that's Valentine Pink for both of those. And now we have the dark berry, which is, it isn't a red. It's more of a berry, like a winter berry shade. And this actually is one of those fabrics where we did a little bit of a color correction on it, and you're going to see something different coming up in October, which I think you're going to absolutely love. So dark berry, and this is the Phoenix motif. And the last three in our bright and bold, I kind of call them our, let's finish it off with a multicolor here. So the first one is hand-dyed Shazam. And I love this one simply because if you have, let's say you have a quilt that has a whole bunch of these fabric colors in it, and you just want something to finish it off and pull the whole thing together, this would be a beautiful choice. Absolutely gorgeous. This one, this fabric, this batik is the Phoenix motif, and this is our rainbow sherbet. And I love this one because it has a lighter background. You see the difference between these two? The rainbow here is an all over. There is no light to it. Some of the light shows up in the motif, but really there's not a light piece to it. And so they complement each other very, very well. Where this has that lightish, almost kind of a buttercream background to it. It's not white. If you put this next to a white, it's going to look very, very different than a white. But it's kind of that buttercreamy look. And each one of our teals, turquoises, greens, and reds, like if I set this next to our grouping of gradations that have mint, cantaloupe, tequila sunrise, I'm going to do that on one of these little displays here. You would see each one of those colors coming through this particular cotton. And then, of course, pulling this whole thing together is our bright multi rainbow. I love this rainbow in the motif of Phoenix. It is one that I think we will have forever. It's every colorway, and it just really pulls everything together. So this is our bright and bold collection of 115 inch wide batik cotton. Okay, we're back, and I really hope you enjoyed that little show of the various colors that we kind of categorize as our bold and bright and beautiful in the 115-inch wide Batik Cotton collection. So let me know if you have any questions about it, or, there are a few fabrics in there that also you probably saw in our blue collection as well. It's hard to distinguish or just categorize a blue into blue versus brights. And so that's why you're seeing some of these in more than one collection. So, okay. So that is our Fabric Friday kind of showcase for you. But I also wanted to share with you a couple of things. One of them is a question that I addressed today from a customer who is trying to make and trying to find the right background for a double wedding ring quilt. And she called because she was wanting 5 yards of 45-inch wide fabric. But she loves the Sans Surf, our Phoenix motif in the color of Sans Surf, which is kind of a goldy tan color, and she felt that would be perfect for the background of her quilt. And she really needed help trying to figure out, well, how does 45-inch wide fabric convert into that fabric? I want that 115-inch wide fabric. And so we sat down and did the conversion, and I do it all the time. And 5 yards of 45 equals 2 yards of 115-inch wide fabric. Just simply doing the multiplication and division. And she was very thankful for that I helped her do that. And she was also very thankful for the difference in the price, because we could offer her 45-inch wide fabric at $12.50 a yard. But if you're sort of doing the math, it is really a savings, pretty much always a savings, to get the 115-inch wide fabric. Because 2 yards of fabric, our backings, our 115-inch wide fabric is normally priced $25.50 a yard. So for 2 yards, that is $51. Well, if you divide that by 5 to kind of just basically get an average, that's $10 a yard if it were 45-inch wide fabric. And this is Batik. And so I look at that as a very, very good savings. And she was very thankful that we were able to provide her with a beautiful cotton backing that she's going to cut up and she's going to put in the background of her quilt. And I do believe we'll have a matching backing that won't have to be pieced for her quilt as well. So that is where she's headed with her project. I just wanted to address that because we get that question all the time. What do I need from 115-inch wide fabric if the back of my pattern, I wish I had one sitting here, the back of my pattern says I need 7 yards or 9 yards of 45-inch wide fabric. So start looking at your backing measurements or what you need for the backing of your quilt as the size of your quilt. Think about it as one whole piece. So if we have one whole piece and you're working on a queen and it's 108 inches square, let's say, you need 115-inch wide fabric, or I shouldn't say that. Ask your long arm quilter, if you're not quilting it yourself, what dimensions they would like to have for the extra for the back of your quilt. Most of the time, adding 10 inches to each edge, you get very, very close to what you need for your quilt backing. So that's why for us, we have added that 3 1/4 yard measurement to our website. And we get so many orders for 3 1/4 yards of backing for queen size quilts or king size quilts, depending on the pattern measurements that are on your pattern. So take a look at that. Just know that it is so great to be able to buy a one-piece backing and save on that as well. Instead of buying 7, 8, or 9 yards at something that's either $12.50 to $15 a yard, 3 yards at $25.50 a yard is a savings. So I just wanted to address that because I'm getting the question so much, and I think what I need to do is a little conversion chart on our website that's downloadable, and I'll get that done for you so that you can see what the reference would be. But in plain English, just remember one thing: what is the measurement of your quilt? And add the excess around it, and the shortest measurement becomes what you need to cut off and what you need to order. I should say what you need to order. What I need to cut off are bolts for your order. And so that is that. So I just wanted to address that. Let's see. Well, I think that plus we are doing a giveaway today. So you have until next Thursday to subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you're on our email newsletter list. And you are eligible for a 25-piece fat eighth bundle. So you'll get actually a fat eighth of every single one of our bright and bolds that we showed today to add to your collection of batik fabric. And so again, I'm just randomly gonna put all of these. I can download all this information. I can put it in our little database of things and pick out one person that is going to win this package. Now, you get extra bonuses if you comment in this YouTube video below. So you get extra chances if you do comment, and we really appreciate you already subscribing and following us. And we hope you enjoy our little Fabric Fridays. So have fun today. I don't know what you're doing this weekend, but my sister's coming to visit, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do a lot of stuff for my mom and just to really enjoy this weekend. So be well and keep sewing, smiling, and sharing.